Hey guys, welcome back to Sweet to Savory. I am Georgia Bell, and this is part two of showing you how to decorate, or actually how to sculpt these fun little mini spiced pumpkin cakes. So I'm going to get you up on the tripod right here. So I have my hands free. Like I said, my name is Georgia Bell. I'm a Pampered Chef consultant. I do a lot of different cooking scopes on Periscope and Facebook. And if you want to join our Facebook group, my link is actually in the profile, so you can find us there. Also, Pampered Chef, if you want to buy any of the supplies, our link is also there. That's a great way that you can support us so that we can continue doing this broadcasting. Okay, so that's basically the finished product. Super cute. The video that I just did showed you guys the one before this, how we made the mini fluted cakes in the mini fluted cake pan. Okay, this is a Pampered Chef gadget. You can use anyone. You don't have to use Pampered Chef. So basically, what we did was we took the two cakes. That's two cakes put together, and we sliced off the bottom. That's why when I showed you how to make the cake, you don't have to fill it all the way up. Just fill it halfway, because you're still going to have discard. However, you will take part of this, and I break it up, and I will put it in the center there. But basically what you want to do is get a pumpkin shape. So shave off as much as you like in order to get that shape. Then what I did was I made a cream cheese frosting. It was really simple. I just took a cup of powdered sugar and a pack of cream cheese and got it to room temperature, and then just mixed it and then added in a teaspoon of vanilla. So that was really super easy. You can buy store-bought, you can do homemade, whatever you want. So then that's what I sandwiched them together with. As you can see, there's a little bit at the bottom along with the cake. And then I stuffed the center with some cake, okay? You can put it in the refrigerator so that you can firm it up, because this is acting as glue. Depends. If it's really hot out, it might slide around. If not, you can just leave it like this. Then what I did was I made a buttercream frosting. So right here, this is a pound of butter and 2 pounds of powdered sugar and 2 teaspoons of vanilla and about a quarter cup of milk. You can use almond milk, you can use cream, whatever you want as that liquid. And then I added in red and yellow dye to make orange. And then I added just a dash of green to sort of give it more of a natural looking orange color. I know it looks a little bright in here, but you can tell maybe. You can see on the pumpkins. You could do white ones, you could do gray ones, whatever color you want to do. Then what I did was I got a pastry bag here and a piping bag. You can do it with a Ziploc bag and just cut off the corner. And then I got a little Twix-It clip. This is Pampered Chef Twix-It clip. Put the frosting in here. Cut just a real super rough edge like that. And then I'll show you real quick how I decorated it. There's two different stages that you're going to have to go through. And I'm just a basic home cook. I'm not a professional. So if I can do it, you can do it. And let me show you what you do. You start with the bottom here. You take your piping bag and you'll want to fill in the bottom there. But just remember that the step that we're doing right now, it doesn't have to be perfect. All you're trying to do is cover every surface with frosting. And then we're going to do some rough sculpting and then put it in the refrigerator to set up so you can further sculpt it. It was a warm day here in LA today, so I actually ended up putting it back in the refrigerator twice because it was getting a little soft. Okay, so then if you have a Lazy Susan, it makes it easier. You don't have to do the piping bag, you can do it with a knife, but it certainly makes it a lot easier. There's going to be a lot of waste of frosting, but you will scrape it off and put it back in the bowl and reuse it. So you're just going to put it on the edge like that, and then you're just going to keep on turning until you cover every surface of the cake. So this does take some time, a little bit of practice, but I suggest that once you get the rough sculpt out of it, that you can actually bring those out and have kids, your kids, grandkids, even adults, they can actually sculpt their own finished pumpkin, which would be a lot of fun. And then I'm just going to take the top here and just finish that off. Don't worry about being liberal with it. Like I said, you're going to end up reusing what you don't use. I'm going to put it back in the cup like that so I don't leave it kind of mess everywhere. Okay, so what I did was I took a yogurt container. You can take any plastic container and you can actually make your own tools, your own sculpting tools, and get creative. So I basically cut the lid off, the rigid part here, and then I cut out some squares. And from those squares, I made one into a pointed tip like that. So I just took the square and I cut that way and that way. That's going to be our first sculpting tool. And then I took another square and I just sort of rounded the edge like that, okay? So, got my doggy barking in the backyard. So, might be a little hard to see. I could probably take you off the tripod in just a second. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the tip of the sculpting tool and you're just going to bring it from the bottom and then all the way up. And then just take that extra frosting and you can wipe it on the side, the edge of your bowl like that to reuse. And then you're just going to continue to go around. Wiping off the excess. Bring it all the way to the top. Get that excess. Get that excess. And then I'll take you down so you guys can get a closer look when I do the finishing or the next step. It's not the finishing touch, but just for this step it is. So with this recipe, I was able to get, I think, 9 pumpkins out of it. So that's pretty good. And the cake turned out really good. Because it has the yogurt in it, it's extra soft. So you can actually use, I don't want to say it's extra soft. I want to say it's moist inside, but it's firm on the outside, which is great for frosting. So it's not going to fall apart. And then you can just take a little bit of the cream cheese frosting. That's so good. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to take you down. I'm going to show you how to do the edges. Let me turn you around. And remember, this is just the rough draft. Because after this, we're going to put it in the refrigerator to firm up, and then we're going to do more of a sculpting, finishing sculpting. So you can take this scalloped edge, and you're just going to bring it down here, and just sort of smooth that edge. And you kind of see the pumpkin coming together. And just do that all the way up. Take the excess there. And again. Right there. Just rounding that edge. As you can see, there was a lot of extra frosting that we're taking off. So don't be shy about doing that because you do want to create. You can go back over and maybe fill in some of those holes if you want. It's kind of fun. Okay, so there you have your rough pumpkin. They're all going to turn out different. Okay, this is going to go in the refrigerator. Let me get it back up on the here again. There's that. And let me see if I have one more to finish off for you guys. Hold on. Okay. So this is one that I just took out of the refrigerator. It's rough, like this one is rough. Oops. Okay, I'm going to move this one. You can actually get a spatula. You can actually get a spatula and just go right under it like that, and that's how you can transport it to the refrigerator. Okay, so now you can actually bring out your sculpting tools again, and oops, and you can smooth over those rough surfaces. And this one's actually looking pretty good. I really don't need, I think, to do much with my tool. So I'm going to take you down again so you can get a closer look and see how I'm going to finish it off with some water. So, a glass of water. I'm going to turn you around. So basically I'm going to dip my fingers in the water and then just sort of smooth out so you get more of a realistic looking surface on your pumpkin. And this is the point at which you could actually, if you have younger kids or guests, adults, doesn't matter, don't have to be a kid to do this, but you know, if you're having a party, and then you could pull them out at this stage and let the people sculpt it and finish it off. They'd probably much rather have their fingers on your food than your fingers. So you get the idea. And if it starts to get too soft, if it's warm out, like it was today in Los Angeles, like I said, I had to put it back in the fridge earlier, and then brought it out and sculpted it one other time, just because I wanted to get it looking just so. And this is my first time making it, so I think, you know, with practice, you can really sort of perfect this technique. But, you know, in the end, it's for fun, and all the ingredients are fresh and amazing. So I'm sure it's going to taste great. I already know that the cake did with the cream cheese frosting, so you just sort of get to work that around. I like working with clay. Smooth that edge over. You guys get the idea. And then I'll probably work on this more after I turn the camera off. I don't want to bore you, but at least I want you to see how to work it. Again, get this smoothed out. And then what you can do is you can either get another, you know, like those mini pumpkins that have the stems on them. And you can actually probably get a couple of stems off of one of those. Just get some that have some really long stems and cut it in half. And then you can see it coming together. Lighting's not so great, but you get the idea. And then what you will do is What I did was I got a stem from our tomato plants that are dying, so they're kind of dried looking little branches like this. And then I just stick that in there, and you have your little pumpkin. And then I would stick that back in the refrigerator, and then like I said, you can bring it back out and rework it if you want. And as it sets, it'll start to look even better. Okay, so that's it, guys. Don't forget to tap on that subscribe button and click on our link if you'd like to go check out our Pampered Chef website. And go ahead and make some comments and share out. Thanks for stopping by. Ciao.